Palm hands up him, because he's an outstanding gentleman that has started at the bottom and made his way to the top. And so again, it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's a people thing, but just for those who may think it's not, I'm proving wrong.
Yeah.
So it was
I don't know where to start. They did so many things. I guess we could start at the beginning. I was in prison. That's where I met LeVar in a program. When I came out, I had nothing. I mean, I had the support of some family members, but they had no house, no car, no money. But I had children. And when I was in prison, I decided, third time there, that I ain't going back. I'm tired of that life. I'm watching my kids grow up from windows and screens. I can't do that anymore. So when I came home, I was starting things different. I was going to take all the bad things that I had in my life, and I was going to change that out with good things, things you could be proud of. So I told my mom she was letting me stay at her house. I said, I'm going to go to the phone meeting. Met him when I was in jail. I'm going to go see what that's about. Fast forward, went to a job with a friend, and they weren't hiring. But I stayed there for 2 weeks doing the job until they did hire me. Did 2 weeks free, got a job. But just coming up in here, getting the knowledge and the tools. I had a job for a year. I was able to get a house in Shenandoah for me and my kids. And LeVar got me in touch with some people that made all that possible for me to actually get a house for my kids, and I hold them responsible for that, and I thank them. They've just done so many things. I can stand up here all night and tell you. Thank you.
Why my kids are now 18 and 19. When it was 2 and 3 years old, home did it. So I didn't have anybody really to talk to about fatherhood. And then when my son being autistic, that was a whole nother chapter I had to deal with. And through that situation, I went from being married to divorce. So when LeVar met me, he met me when I was going through custody issues. And a couple of things. The first thing was when DCFS came. When DCFS came, that was the first time fathers got a chance to actually ask DCFS representative a question. And they came at like 6:30, and they didn't leave till like after 10. So to give y'all an idea of how we trapped them here, because we had so many questions and so many concerns, and nobody has heard our voice before.
Yeah.
It was ready to go. It really was ready to go. But we kept them here, and we asked some good questions, some bad questions. You know how to go. But it was the first time fathers got to see that they actually cared about how we felt. That was the first time I saw LeVar actually deliver on something that he promised. Another thing LeVar said is that he wanted to change laws. And that was something I didn't think could happen in Louisiana, especially going through the family court system myself and seeing how the system is set up. But to see now, today, you're on the task force, I don't know what else to say, but he's a man of his word, and he actually delivered on what he said. So we need to acknowledge him just for that. He's done a lot, but he's actually working with the state to change laws. That's awesome. We've been wanting that for a long time, especially with the child support system and the way it's set up, and he's got a task force. We didn't have that years ago. So please give it up to LeVar for that. Another thing LeVar did is took away the word baby mama, and it just rolls off the tongue, baby mama drama. It just rolls. But now you got to say the mother of my children, and that just don't sound right. The drama of the mother of my children, mother and children. But he took that away. It's a work in progress, but he took it away. And I want to say that because that was one of the first rules we had to acknowledge in the class. They said we can't say baby mama. They can still call us whatever they want, but we can't say baby mama. So that stuck with me. But more importantly than that, phone gave me a reason to change, if that makes sense. I can stand up here and say phone changed me, but that's not really true. Phone gave me a reason to decide for myself to change. It gave me a reason to look at myself and say, okay, I could have did that better. Okay, I could have said that better. Okay, I could have did it a different way. And when you see that, you either want to do something different or you want to keep doing the same thing. And as many fathers got up here and said, sometimes you could just sit here and be quiet and listen to the other fathers because their stories are so impactful. And it's not to say their stories are worse than yours, nothing like that. But it's to know that they either dealing with something you've already dealt with or dealing with something that you like never heard of. It's like crazy. But they still showing up, they still dealing with it every day, and they not giving up. So it kind of makes you think, dang, if they can do it, not only can I do it, but I can't use the excuse and say it's hard. And that's the main thing. We can always say it's hard or we can't do this for whatever reason, but one of the things that foam does, it makes you look at yourself in the mirror. And one of my least favorite classes, that Sonny teaches values. And in the values class, it's another one of those classes where it makes you think about yourself. So many times we want to fuss and complain about the mother of our children. But with the value class, it makes you look at yourself and say, hey, have you really sat down and looked at what are your values? When you sit down and look at what your values are, you can have values. Are they good values? Are they... It's just one of them classes where you got to sit down and look at yourself. So if I had to say one of the things that phone did for me, is made me look at myself. Because I told LeVar in one of the exercises I was all fives. I was all five, so I ain't gonna help. I was one of the all five. But in all seriousness, I love the organization. I encourage y'all, 7 classes or more, please go all the way to the 14 classes. Come back and give back. Because what if, and this is a what if question that I had to ask myself on why I still come. What if LeVar's not? I know that doesn't mean that the organization is over, but we got a lot of men in here. And with the men in here, just everybody here, after they finish their classes, just come back. What does that say? You're no longer a participant. You're no longer in the classes. But you're here to offer support. You're here to offer more to LeVar, so you don't have to look for help, look for support, or anything like that, because everybody who succeeded came back. I'm not saying you have to, because if you can't, you can't. But if you do, it says a lot, not just to who you are, but it says a lot to them that you completed the program and you came back to give back just because of how it affected you and impacted you in your life. Thank you.